Alright, thanks for clicking on the video. This is Golbez. I need a new catchphrase because thanks for clicking on the video is not great. Oh well. This video I'm going to talk about Final Fantasy IV in my Getting Into a series. Let's have a look. So, as I've said before, there's some series that I missed. I just completely missed out on, so I wanted to remedy that and get into basically Final Fantasy. So I played the later Final Fantasy games, but I wanted to go back and play the older ones. It's hard going back to the Nintendo and Super Nintendo. Well, not so much Super Nintendo, but the original Nintendo, and playing some of the RPGs or some of the games on that, like Castlevania 1 or Simon's Quest. It's just, I don't know, they're just so old and stuff. Like it's hard to kind of, I don't know, it's hard to get into them, but that's why I went for Final Fantasy on PSP, because the PSP is like the remakes, and there's quality of life improvements as well. It's nicer to look at, and it's just more accessible for me because it's on the PSP. So Final Fantasy 1 on PSP, loved it. Final Fantasy 2 on PSP, loved that as well. Final Fantasy 3 on DS, not a huge fan. Probably wouldn't play it again, to be honest. Final Fantasy 4 on PSP then, wow, amazing. Just top drawer as well. I love the graphical style on the Final Fantasy games, like the remakes on PSP. Like whatever they did, it just looks great. Like, and it looks like, obviously Final Fantasy 1 PSP, Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 4 are all sort of like, I don't know, Final Fantasy 4 just seems the most graphically advanced of the remakes. I don't know where they're making them all at the same time, because they made them all the same graphical style, like the upgrades, but they all look very similar, so it was kind of like very easy to go from one to another because they were all sort of very similar looking. But Final Fantasy IV seems to have like the most animations, or the most kind of, I don't know, it looks the best of the three that I've played on PSP. I'm not sure if Final Fantasy 3 is on PSP or Final Fantasy 5 as well. I couldn't see it like on the PAL releases, which is what I want. Like I want the original hardware. It might be released in Japan. I think Final Fantasy 5 was released in Japan for PSP, but it didn't come over here, so I'll play the Final Fantasy 5 on either the Game Boy Advance or something else. I think the Game Boy Advance is the go-to system for Final Fantasy 5, or maybe it didn't come out on PSP, I don't know. But I would like the PSP style of graphics on the next Final Fantasy game I play as well, but oh well, I probably won't be able to do that. But Final Fantasy 4, top drawer. So it's very different from the other games. There seems to be an improvement every game. Like Final Fantasy 1 was very basic in the story, so then Final Fantasy 2 then, it kind of like had a little bit more advanced story, but the combat and the kind of the way you level up the character was I think it was an improvement. I didn't like it initially, but then I loved it, and then I found it difficult to go to Final Fantasy 3 then, because there was no point, there was no point me using spells, like the spells weren't leveling up, what's going on? So, but Final Fantasy 3 has the job system, which is really good. That's like really prevalent like in later Final Fantasy games as well. But Final Fantasy 4 then, like the story is ramped up, like the story is really good in Final Fantasy 4. You're like Cecil, a Dark Knight, although I named him Gull, and you pick up loads of different characters like companions on the way. But yeah, the story kind of takes secondary then to the gameplay, because the gameplay is excellent in Final Fantasy 4. It's really, really enjoyable to do the battles and to kind of go to the different areas. And also like it seems like such a massive game as well, because you have like the regular like land, like Earth or whatever, and then you go underground, which makes it seem a lot bigger. But then you go to the moon as well, which makes it seem like, it seems like it's a huge game. It's only a small game, like, but it seems massive, like, so, and it seems really long as well. It probably is longer than the other games. I just didn't notice because I can't remember how long I spent on each game. I think I spent like 12 hours on Final Fantasy 1, 20 on Final Fantasy 2, and then 21 or something on Final Fantasy 3, or on Final Fantasy 4. Final Fantasy 3, I don't know how long I spent on that because I got sick of it. But Final Fantasy 4, top drawer. Story's really good. The graphical style is excellent on PSP. I have to recommend the PSP version. Now, I am right at the end, the last boss on Final Fantasy 4 at the moment. And I tried to go to the last dungeon a couple of times, but I was defeated because the last dungeon is very, very difficult. But yeah, I have to recommend Final Fantasy 4. I wouldn't recommend 3, but I'd recommend 1, 2 and 4. So 4 is actually the best of the Final Fantasy games I've played so far, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Not obviously 7 is the best, and 8. But of the ones like from the start, like if you play like I'm doing, play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Final Fantasy 4 is the best so far. I like the characters have, you can't change them into different characters, like you can't change their jobs around, so they only have one role. But then, I don't know, I think I like the job system in 3 better, because, well, I didn't like the implementation of the job system in 3 because you know, it just wasn't good. But the job system in 5 is supposed to be a lot better, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you have one healing character, you have one like warrior character who does cover knight, and then you have like a monk character, and you have like a dark knight, and you have a summoner. You also have like a black mage, but you don't have them by the time you get to the end of the game. And a lot of characters die in it as well, which is kind of like surprising to me that they sort of like killed characters off, like, but it's okay because they're still alive at the end. Spoiler alert. Yeah, so Final Fantasy IV, I have to like really recommend Final Fantasy IV. So if you've played Final Fantasy IV, let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for watching the video. Thanks for liking the video if you liked it. And thanks for everything. Adios.